Hi, welcome to Immigration Nation. My name is Nicole Whitaker. I'm an immigration lawyer. I'm here with our legal operations manager, Alejandra Botetta.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
So, we're here today live on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you have questions, put your comments or your questions in the comment box, and we'll do our best to answer them today. But we'll start with a couple of the most common questions that I get, or I'll ask you, Alejandra, what are some of the most common questions that we get, either from consultations or from our social media?
We get tons of questions about, especially from people who are having problems with their USC spouses, asking if they are still eligible to apply for benefits if they're already divorced from their spouses.
So, cases where someone has gotten their green card through marriage to a U.S. citizen, but now the relationship isn't working out. Either they're divorced, or they're thinking about divorce, getting divorced, or some other scenarios.
um, like you said, they're already divorced, they're thinking about getting a divorce, or they're separated. They're asking if they can continue to apply for benefits, even if there have been problems in the relationship.
Yeah, we had a case recently where our now client came to us because their U.S. citizen spouse had already filed the I-751 jointly with them to go from the 2-year green card to the 10-year green card. But now the U.S. citizen spouse is using that against them, threatening to withdraw the petition, threatening to have her deported. And so those are definitely cases that we can help in. You don't have to stay in a bad relationship just to get your green card.
Absolutely.
So Alejandro, what are some of the options that we could take in a situation like that where someone is married to a U.S. citizen but not in a good relationship with them?
We could certainly, if no petitions have been filed or if they're at the very beginning of their immigration journey, we can definitely help people that are in those bad or difficult relationships file a self petition instead of having to rely on their spouse to petition for them. So, definitely, like Attorney Whitaker mentioned, there's no reason to stay in a bad relationship. Um, just for the reasons of obtaining the immigration benefits, there are certainly pathways to do it independently without having to rely on an abusive spouse.
Yeah. So if you don't have your green card, but you're married to a U.S. citizen, you haven't filed anything, we can help you file for a work permit and potentially a green card on your own without your spouse's help. If you've gotten your temporary 2-year conditional resident card through marriage and you need your 10-year green card, you can file jointly with your spouse, or if that is not an option, either because your spouse is refusing to help or because you're afraid that your spouse will try to use it against you while the petition is pending, you can file on your own also without their help, either because of the problems you're facing in the marriage, or there's another option if you get a divorce um, and you can prove that you entered the marriage in good faith, even if you're divorced, there's a way you can file on your own without your spouse's help. So there are a couple different options, but definitely um, options to get your green card without your spouse's help. Whether you don't have one, whether you filed for one and you're waiting on it, or whether you have your 2-year green card and you need your 10-year green card. One question we're getting on TikTok is how much is a consultation and how to schedule a consultation. So, consultations in our office are $150. You go through a process where we do an intake call with our client services team before you meet with an attorney. During our consultation with the attorney, we'll learn a little bit more about the details of your case and your immigration history. We'll tell you if we can help you, and if we can, what the steps are in the case, how much it will cost, how long it will take, and how you can get started working with us. If you choose to retain us and hire us to help you with your immigration case, the $150 you paid for the consultation goes toward the legal case. So, how do you schedule a consultation? You can go to our website and schedule it on your own through our website, whitaker-legal.com, or you can give us a call at 207-9272. Let's see. We have lots of questions on our TikTok. So Brenda asks, she says that her husband applied for advanced parole with DACA in November of 2022. No biometrics notice. 6 months it's been with the Nebraska Service Center. Do we still wait? So applying for advanced parole allows you to travel outside of the country and re-enter. People can apply for advanced parole if they have a green card application pending, if they have DACA, if they have TPS. Before you travel, always make sure to consult with a lawyer to make sure there's nothing in your immigration history or criminal history that could put your re-entry in jeopardy. But if you're able to travel, entering with advanced parole can give you the option to apply for adjustment of status or a green card if you don't have that option to begin with. But back to Brenda's question. I have heard and seen DACA advanced parole applications getting approved in as little as 3 to 4 months. So having waited since November of 2022, that's kind of a long time. One thing that you can do, it's a big step, would be to file a petition for mandamus. Alejandra, can you speak a little bit to what filing a petition for mandamus is?
Yes. So what would happen is that we would send a request or a complaint to the U.S. government to have them investigate why the application is taking longer than it should, and for them to take action on your specific case. So it is a big step and a very effective step to make sure that your application is being adjudicated at the time that it should be adjudicated in. So if you have a petition for advanced parole with DACA, or for anything really that is taking longer than the amount of time that it should take, is taking longer than the processing times that are listed on the USCIS website, mandamus is definitely an option to make sure that you are doing everything that you can do so that your case is being adjudicated in a timely manner.
Yeah, exactly. By filing for a petition of mandamus, we're basically asking a federal district court to force USCIS to make a decision on your case. The federal district court will not make the decision of whether they're going to approve or deny the petition, but they can force USCIS, the Immigration Service, to make the decision in your case. We've had incredibly successful results for clients who had pending green card applications. They'd been waiting forever for a decision from USCIS. They either filed on their own or with another lawyer, and eventually came to us after waiting a long time. And within just a couple months, we got their cases approved through filing a petition for mandamus. We've also had success for people who had N-400 applications for naturalization or citizenship pending. Again, maybe they had waited a long time for USCIS to adjudicate that petition. They were waiting, no answer. They hired us. We filed the petition for mandamus, and within just a couple months, USCIS approved their application for citizenship. So, Brenda, I hope that answers your question, that it sounds like you've been waiting a long time, not years yet, but a long time. And if you want to take action, one action you could take beyond filing an inquiry with USCIS or a congressional inquiry would be filing a petition for mandamus with the federal district court. Yeah. Let's see what other questions we have on TikTok. One question that we get a lot, all the time, is how can I help my parents get a green card? A lot of people know that if you have a U.S. citizen child who's 21 years of age or older, they can petition for you. The problem is that you can only get a green card inside the U.S. without leaving the country if you're eligible for adjustment of status or a different program. To be eligible for adjustment of status, you have to prove that you entered the US legally, typically with a visa. And for a lot of our clients, they entered illegally crossing the border without inspection. In those cases, we screen people for many different options. One option is we screen them for a waiver, which would require them to leave the country and come back after their interview, after their waiver is approved. Another option we screen people for is VAWA, if they are experiencing problems with their spouse or with their adult US citizen children. Another thing we screen people for is a T visa for people who have been mistreated, um, mistreated, taken advantage of by an employer here in the US. And a U visa for people who have been victims of serious crimes. There are a couple other programs we screen people for, but those are the most common options that we find for people.
Also, if people who have children who are members of the military might be able to have a pathway as well. So if you have a son or daughter who is a member of the military, please give us a call.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ollie. We just recently got green cards for clients through military parole in place. They have a child who is a member of the military. And so for military parole in place, what we have to prove is that you're a person of good moral character and you have a parent and you're a minor child, or you're the parent and you have an adult child, or you have a spouse who is either a current or former member of the military. If your family member is a former member of the military, we have to prove that they were honorably discharged. And so through that process, even if your family member entered without inspection, illegally crossing the border, we apply for parole in place. Once that is approved, that serves as the replacement for that legal entry for your family member. And once we have that parole approved, your family member gets protection from deportation, a work permit, and then possibly the option to get a green card. So these clients have been with us for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? We filed that application for parole in place with their local field office a while ago. Mm-hmm. They got their work permit, they got protection from deportation, and they got that parole in place card that we then used to apply for their green cards. And their green cards were actually approved without even an interview.
Yes.
So it was a really easy, simple process for them, and we're super excited and happy for that family.
Yeah. And they had been told that they had no other option, so they were very excited when they met with us and we were able to explain this process for them. And that is the case with so many of our clients. So many people that we meet during our consultations tell us that they've met with other attorneys already and they have been told no multiple times. There are no other options for them, and then they come and they meet with us, and we try to do a very, very thorough screening process. We ask all of the questions to see if there's absolutely anything we can do to help, and a lot of the time we can, and it's a surprise to them. It's really good news. So it's really exciting to be able to have positive results on those cases.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people feel like all lawyers are the same, all doctors are the same, but that's not true. If you were going to undergo some kind of serious surgery, you got like a really horrible diagnosis, you might probably want to get a second or third opinion from a doctor. And it's the same with lawyers. Not all lawyers are created the same. All lawyers have different training, different experiences. Like Alejandra said, one of the things that makes our firm different from other firms is this really detailed intake consultation process that we have, where we try not to miss any potential options that somebody might have to get a work permit, green card, some kind of legal status in the country. I'm sure there are times where we might miss things, just like other lawyers have missed things for our clients in the past. But we really try to do everything we can to check all the boxes and make sure that we've turned over every stone and pursued all the options we can for every client that trusts us to handle their cases. So thank you guys for tuning in with us today. Again, if you would like to schedule a consultation, you can give us a call at 410-207-9272. Our office is in Towson, Maryland, but we represent clients all over the country. In fact, I don't have the numbers, but we just recently, did you hear about this?
No.
Paula, our marketing and public relations manager, and I looked through all of our old cases, and we did a list of all the countries our clients have been from and all of the states we have served clients in. And I think we've served clients in 40 different states in the US, not 50 yet. So I've got my list. I'll have to tell everybody what states we need clients from so we can say we represented people from all 50 states. And maybe 150 countries we've represented clients from. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to double check, and we're going to publish those numbers because it's so exciting.
It is very exciting, and definitely good to know that your immigration attorney can be located in they don't have to be located in your state. We can represent you even if you don't live in Maryland. We can help you with your case. And definitely, if you feel like you fit any of the scenarios that we've talked about today, or if you feel like you could have an immigration case, or even if you don't feel like you have an immigration case, give us a call, because our screening process is very, very thorough, and we will do everything we can to make sure that we can find a way for you.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Immigration Nation.